Alright, so what I've done is went ahead and did you a quick end result summary right here so I can go through this with you. And then I'll go ahead and play the webinar recording, and then I'll read you the summary at the end. But just so you can sort of see how it ends up, and so you know what we're watching for as we're going through. Alright, so quick summary on the trade here on the Aussie dollar straddle that we did on the new short-term binaries that are, only 2 hours long and only 10 strikes wide on the FX pairs. I think it's 5 strikes wide on the US yen, but on the other 7 pairs, 10 strikes wide. So they're really close together. Makes for some great trades. We got in at 9.50 and it expired out or settled at 10 a.m. On the sell side of the trade, we risked $10.50. On the buy side of the trade, we risked $6.50. So our total risk on the trade was $16. The payout on the trade, as you can see right here, was $100. So this one had no payout, so it had a total loss of $10.50. This one with a risk of $6.50 had a payout of $100. So we had a profit of $84 on the trade. Take out, the exchange fees. Net profit was $81.30, and that brings us to a grand total profit of 508% return in only 10 minutes. So pretty cool trade, and learn more at ApexInvesting.com. Alright, I think we got it all up there. Can everybody see everything? Hear everything? If I can get AV, if you can type that in the chat box, and I'll know that we're live and good to go. Just put AV. There we go. Alright, gotta make sure you're all awake too. Alright, here we go. Sorry about the little delay there. We had to do a little update on an upload we just put in. And got some pretty cool stuff. I'm going to show that to you this morning. And it's actually live right now, so we just did a version 2 update. That's why I was hanging out for a second to get on the webinar. And I am going to log into my demo and live Nadex accounts. I definitely suggest that you do get the demo, and then you fund your live account and request Dan extend your demo, because you get ideas, you want to try things, and experience is a very expensive teacher. It's one of the worst teachers in trading. It may be a good teacher in some things, but it is a very expensive teacher. So don't let experience be your teacher, okay? Let it be your teacher through demo, not through live. And have a little constraint. I know as traders we want to get in there and we want to make money today. But have a little constraint and, be okay with not making money today. Be okay with learning today and making money tomorrow. All right? And, you can go in there and, people hop on and they try things out. And, I've been amazed how many people go, Nadex didn't work. They hopped in, they blew their account out because they did completely the wrong thing. They didn't know what they were doing. And, if you can't, I'm not saying because you can make money in demo, you're going to make money in live. But if you can't make money in demo, you're not making money in live, okay? Or until you make money in demo, let's put it that way. So, you need to work on it and make some money in demo first and then move to live. So, but definitely get that live account. There are some reasons to have a live account, such as the strikes may be a little bit different sometimes. Just because if they do like an upgrade, they'll upgrade first on the demo side, and then they'll upgrade on the live side when they do those upgrades. Sometimes it puts a little delay when they set the strikes, and so sometimes you might see different strikes and things like that. Speaking of strikes, I heard about this last week, and it looks like they got it up. They just tightened the strikes, which I'm very excited about on the Forex binaries. They had them they used to be at 50, and there were 3 strikes wide for the intraday binaries. And then they went and added more, and they tightened them down to 25. That was good, but they still weren't really tradable. And now they went in, they've actually made them even tighter down to 10 pips wide and 5 pips wide on the US yen. So what does that mean? Let me go ahead and show you this. It's very, very cool. If you go down here and you click on Forex binaries, and then you go down to euro dollar and look at one of the intraday, you'll notice there used to only be 3 of them, and now there's 9 of them, okay? And they're much, much tighter. They're only, like I said, 10 pips wide. Why would you care? What does that help for? I usually trade the dailies. Now, one of the reasons I used to trade only the dailies was because there was only 3 strikes on the intradays. And so you couldn't really find, necessarily a good strike with a good risk reward that was close enough to make a difference on the intradays. But now you can, because they have 9 of them, okay? And, what would be the number one use? Those who have been following me, I'm just curious. Let's see here. We have a couple Apex people in here. What would be, let's see if anybody can, throw a guess out. What would be probably my number one use for intraday FX strikes? What would I like these trades for? Meaning, I think the market's probably going to move a decent amount in a short period of time. When do you think that's probably going to happen? See if anybody can just guess. If you could guess when the market's definitely going to move, when do you think that would be? Like on what regular recurring thing that happens every day? See here. Trying to see if we get any kind of guesses. On data releases. Perfect. Give him a gold star, Morgan. All right. Awesome. Or husband. So on data release, on news. So on news, obviously the markets move. Okay? And since you know this to be a fact, that the market moves on news, then you want to go in and you want to place things like straddles. But you want them to be as tight as possible. So like if I go over here, and I'm inside our site, and Morgan, I'm pretty sure you've sent over a link for that. But if you go in here and check this out under, let's see, where do we have this? Okay, we got a couple economic calendars here. So economic calendar. And here are the announcements that are coming out today. And you can go in and find out what are the more powerful news announcements. Like when people are going to speak. Like right there we got Draghi. All right, speaking right now. Okay, and we usually, of course, we'll have bigger ones that come out. Things like new home sales, existing home sales, things like that. But you're looking for high impact news reports, and that's going to cause the market to move. And so since that's going to cause the market to move, that's when you want to trade those straddles. And here's GDP quarter over quarter coming out, initial jobless claims coming out, core retail sales coming out, retail. So there's all these announcements. Here's a pound, retail sales coming out. If you're a nighttime trader, if you're a part-time trader, one of the best pairs to trade is Aussie dollar. They almost always have reports coming out at 7:30 at night. And so you can hop on there and you can trade that. Well, now you can actually news trade it, and you can trade it with really tight strikes there. So you can go in and you're looking for maybe a 10 or 20 or 30 tick move, but you can go in and you can do a pretty nice straddle for a good low risk. And since binaries actually move faster the closer they are to expiration, so this thing can go from $8 to $50. In no time flat. Okay. And right here, look at this. We're only like 5 pips wide on Aussie dollar right here. That's, or not 5, but 10 ticks wide. What would it take for the Aussie dollar, okay, to move up or down? Let's see. I'm going to pull up. Let's see. Aussie dollar is currently trading. Actually, they even have it over here. Right here on the bottom left, you'll see underlying currencies. Okay. Spot rates. So you can even open this up to see the charts. I do not recommend using these charts on a regular basis, but just for a quick, thing to show you here. We can see Aussie dollar is currently trading at 1.0542. So 1.0542. You're talking within a few pips on either side of this. So I'm going to throw this trade on. I'm not recommending you do, but I'm just going to show you how simple this is. I'm going to put a buy in right here, a sell in right here. Okay. And this is a really, really short-term trade. There we go. All right. It already got filled. All right. So my risk on this trade is literally $17. All right. If it finishes above 545 or below 535 in the next 10 minutes, and I'm not saying this is a regular trading strategy. I'm just teaching you about the power of the binaries. Okay. If it finishes above or below either one of these strikes, and literally the next 10 minutes, then I will get a payout of, let's see, $90.50 on this one and $93.50 on this one. And my total risk on both sides, that's up or down, okay? My total risk on the entire trade is, let's see, $10.50 plus $6.50, so $17. That's all my risk is on the trade. $17 to make a massive return. If I go in and I actually do pull that off, then we're talking about some pretty good change on a trade. So, but obviously there's no major Aussie dollar report coming out right now. So do I expect to make a whole lot on it? No, but could it move up or down 5 ticks? Yeah, easily. So, you know, I mean, like I said, we barely have to move at all. Again, we can go over here. We've got the Aussie dollar right now, 1.0545, 0543. So we'll see if it can, you know, muster its way either below 35 or above 45. So if it can do either one of those in the next 10 minutes, and hey, we just made quite a bit of money on a ridiculous trade. Okay. Now, I'm throwing that on because it's very low risk. I can afford to do that in my account. You should be doing that right now in your demo. Okay. And so like right here in your demo account, let's go over to Forex binaries, go to Aussie dollar, the ones that are just about to expire in a matter of minutes. And then you could throw, you know, this on, one, okay, just change your quantity, hit place order, and throw this one on, quantity of one, and, you know, place your order. So just sort of, you know, the whole point of this is I want you to see, like, there's definitely opportunity. It doesn't have to move that far in a matter of minutes. Now, you may not choose 10 minutes. You may choose one that has an hour and 10 minutes, you know, or an hour and a half until expiration, just to, you know, take advantage of that. Now, all the trades will expire at the expired time. And by the way, all times listed are Eastern time. A big tip for you, okay? I found this to be helpful, and I've been trading for a long time. I talked to a newer trader, and it helped him a lot. Change, and I mean, there's a little, you may have to put up a clock on, you know, above your computer or whatever. Change the time zone on your computer to Eastern time, okay? And have all your charts be on the same time. It's really confusing when, you know, you live in one time zone and you have different times on different places and everything else. And it can be very, very helpful to go in there and take advantage of that. So just, you know, my suggestion is change that to your time zone. That'll make it like, say you're using NinjaTrader. When you open NinjaTrader, it'll open in Eastern time. So that way your NinjaTrader charts will be the same as your Nadex, you know, expiration, you know, times and everything else. So I've seen a lot of confusion from people that literally like, well, it didn't expire at this price. That's 20 pips off. And they were looking at the wrong time because 10 a.m. their chart was not 10 a.m. on Nadex. And look at this. Just, you know, I mean, a second ago, this was worth 99.5, meaning it lost all of its value in a matter of seconds. Okay? So, you know, I mean, these things literally can make or lose a lot of money. This is also a premium collection. So by adding these in, I mean, right now you couldn't get any premium on them. But, you know, like a little bit earlier, you know, let's see, let's hop on over to 11. Okay, so a little premium collection right here. You could collect $7 here and $10 here. Let's see, yeah. So basically you're saying that it's going to stay below 1.0551 or above 1.0531. And so that lets you collect about $17 in premium collection. So on 2-hour strategies or 1-hour strategies, actually every hour you can put that up. We got ones that expire here in a couple hours. So, and these will open up in 6 minutes. So basically when these die, these will start. And then you can close any trade anytime you want to. So I can hop on here and I can go on this and I can, you know, buy this one for whatever price I want to. And I can place my order and sell it and close it out. Okay? So, like I'm just going to throw this on here just for, I'll do it on a different pair so we don't mess up our trade. Do not copy this at all. All right. But let's just say, you know, I bought this and I go in, I buy it. I can wait till expiration to see if it's profitable or not, or I can close it out now. So if I want to close it out now, let me get a little more room on my window so you can see what's going on. All I got to do is click this green button, and it'll open it up, and I can set either my take profit price, like maybe I want to sell it when it hits $80, okay? Or maybe I just want to sell it at market. Let's say I typed in 80 and I want to sell it at market. I just literally click on the bid, the sell side. Okay, buy side, sell side, just like here. Offer, bid. So I'll pay you this, and you know they're letting me, you know, have this. So anyways, I just click on that. It updates it to market price. Hit place order, and then fills me. If it doesn't fill me, so let me show you an example. What happens if it doesn't fill me? Okay, so I'm going to put this down like at 15. All right. And sometimes this will happen even if I click the price, because maybe it'll go to $20.50. So they're not going to let me buy it lower than the market's quoting. Okay? So, like, it was actually lower right there. And so now I have a working order. So, because I tried to buy lower than the market. So look at this. I'm trying to buy at 15. The market's at 21. Okay? So 21, 22. So it's not, they're not going to let me buy or cheaper where the market is. So maybe I want to go in and I want to buy it right now. Then I can just click on the buy side. It'll update my price to live market price. And they're moving really fast. As you can see, we're getting a lot of volatility with Draghi talking right now. And then hit, amend order. So then it'll fill it right away. And then when I want to close it, if I just want to get out at market, just click that and click place order and close it out. This is demo. By the way, you can tell the difference by the color of the screen. See how this is really dark blue? This is a lighter blue with a gray up there. Which for right now, they may change this in the future. But this is demo. This is live. Let's see here. So yeah, we have economic. There's a lot of economic calendars out there. We have a couple of them built into our site. It's sort of nice. You can click on it, and it'll actually tell you details about it. It'll actually show you a chart of the history of the report. Like, is it getting better or worse? You can look at the forecast and the actual and any revisions that have happened. So I like this one a lot. And then if it was good or bad, it'll actually give you a little arrow right there. So if we go back up and let's see here. Previous, we'll go to today. One more day. There we go. We look at like some of the reports that came out. Like the trade balance report that came out this morning. If I click on that, it'll tell me was that good or bad for the currency. So when it actually, after it comes out. So that's really helpful. We have another one on here too. We just, provide you a little variety. This one sort of shows everything in the planet basically on one big page. It's a really light news week, by the way, except for the fact that we have the fiscal cliff looming. Another good site that I like is Forex Factory. We used to have this built in their site, but they killed the plugin or whatever that they made. So usually Forex Factory is a good site if it'll actually load. And so it's very helpful. Now, even if you're not trading news, do you need to be aware of when these news announcements happen as a trader? So let's just say you're not doing your trades based on news. Does it matter if these things are coming out? Like, should that be important to you? And the answer is definitely yes. Okay, let's say if you're trading Apple, do you need to be aware of the news about Apple? Even if you're not trading on Apple News. So, yeah, Forex Factory is a great one. There it goes. So, and if you create an account, you can make it save it as your time zone. Notice how I have my, this one's set at Eastern Time. If I log in, it'll be Eastern Time. But I set everything to Eastern Time. It just makes life easier than trying to calculate 4 different time zones on every, website and all that stuff. And they have some good news information. I like to get news off of here too. And then I think both of them, let me see, this other one does it as well. I think it does. Let's get a more common report here. Trade balance, there we go. Yeah, so see, like they'll put the release URL. So this is actually where the release will come out. Often, these websites may take a minute or two to actually update after the release comes out. Okay? So they'll get jammed and they won't update fast because so many people are hitting these websites like investing.com. Okay? So it's often good to know what the release URL is. Now you have to know how to read the release URL. You have to go in there and figure out, okay, where is the link and what is the data I want to read and stuff like that. It takes a little bit of work, but once you got it, it's really simple. Like natural gas. It's like the third paragraph. Let's see, I'll show you a natural gas report. If you're trading natural gas news and Thursdays, if I go over here to natural gas and I click on the latest release, then you can basically read through here and figure out exactly what the number is. If I go exactly, let me show you oil inventory is probably more common. Let me show you oil inventory report. If I click on the latest release on this, then what will happen is the forecast will come up here in a couple days. They'll have the forecast for how many barrels are expected. And then like the third paragraph down here, let's see, when I load up, internet's slow this morning. Probably because of sharing through Novia here. That one's loaded. Now, maybe their website's slow. Oh yeah, usually that will be very fast. So they may even have taken the report down. I have no idea. But third paragraph down will actually have the information you need. It's like third paragraph, second sentence. I have a whole video actually on how to trade the oil inventory report. But anyway, so you want to know your news. You want to know when it happens. Because one of the examples I always give is if you go in and you're trading, your system says buy or your system says sell, and you don't check the news and know when the news is coming out, that's sort of like going into a doctor appointment and getting a perfectly good bill of health. And then all of a sudden, a bus hits you because you don't look both ways before you cross the street when you're going out. Okay? So know when the news is coming out and know what it should be and know how that could impact you, and do you need to tighten stops or whatever. Of course, if you're on Nadex, you don't have to worry about getting stopped out. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the number you want. So increased by 0.8 million barrels. So see, like third paragraph, like first sentence. Okay. So like that number right there on the second line, that's the number you need to pay attention to. So if Forex Factory was taking forever, and usually this site is very, very fast. If Forex Factory is taking forever, you could actually see this pretty much instantly, along with the rest of the world, when that news comes out. So latest release can often be faster than any of these news websites, if you know just where to click on the link and where to read the data. So they'll expect, like, see where it says 0.8 million was the actual, and that was the number right there. So all you need to know, you don't have to read the report, you need to know that. You can go back and read the report afterwards, but this is what everybody's paying attention to, okay, initially. Okay, so there's just, some fun tidbits for you that are very helpful. Let's see, I saw a question earlier. Let's see, okay, we'll go over that. Something else definitely want to go check out. Let me see if this should be uploaded now. We were doing it while I was sort of on hold there before I started up. And I'm just going to double check it off here before I point you to it and then it doesn't work or something. But, and let's see here. If that works, then you'll be able to access it right away. And it's very, very cool. I'll show you exactly how it works. Okay, yep, it's up. All right, so we literally just we just released this in the last week and actually just loaded the newest version up. And so I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you where to get it. Once you've got the email from Trading Pub, where they tell you where to sign up. So Morgan, I'm sure you sent that out or the link out or whatever. Then hop over here and you can go to Deviations and then go to get a 2-week free trial. Now you can see the deviations right now. Okay, and I'll show you what the deviations, I'll explain the deviations here. But we actually just made it to where it auto plots into NinjaTrader for you live. So hop on there, and we're in beta, so we actually just went to beta 2. So they'll update the website and say beta 2 right now. And we're getting feedback from people. So ideas, improvements, anything like that. And I'll pull it up here. It's very cool. Going backwards here, a quick question on SMQ rating. Basically, it's seismic quake index, okay? And what they're talking about is if you expand on a report, then, what does it say over here? And on this report, what you'll see is, so we've got to find one that actually has an expectation. Okay, so SMQ, if you click on that, it'll tell you basically what currency pair had the largest impact from that news announcement, which is pretty cool. And so now understand that's for that one time. So you may want to go through and pull a little history up of a few of them to find, what's consistently the one that has the largest, number. And if the numbers are small, then you probably aren't expecting as big of a number off of it. But like right there, Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar. We're not interested in New Zealand because that's not on Nadex. So we got Aussie dollar over here. Aussie dollar's pretty low. Okay, Aussie dollar's pretty high again. So in the top group there, you want to see one that is, ideally pretty consistently, like 3 out of 4, at least in the top. Okay, so I probably wouldn't be trading Aussie dollar based on that. But you can go down and you can just find which ones had the biggest impact, and those might be the ones you want to go in and find the best ones for you. Okay, to possibly do news trades on. So the SMQ can be helpful if you can find a pair that's consistently impacted by that report, and it's not that hard. I mean, you just focus on the pair that's on for that country. So, and usually you'll get the biggest impact. If we go back a couple, we could probably find ones that, let's see here. We gotta have Aussie. It usually has a lot of reports earlier in the week, like bigger reports. Let's see here. They're still not big enough. Light week for Aussie last week. 1 second here, we'll find one. There we go, trade balance, that'll be good. Or unemployment rate, that'll be even better. Okay. Alright, so right here, when we go in here, we can check out, like I'll just open up like this. Obviously, it should be Aussie dollar every time. We'll see. So Aussie dollar 1.9, Aussie New Zealand, obviously it's still Aussie. Aussie dollar, and even Aussie yen, but it's still Aussie. Aussie Canadian. Aussie dollar itself was only 0.6. So let's see here. But you can go through and you literally see this, you know, out of all the pairs that got impacted, was it the one you expect? I mean, I would expect Aussie dollar to have the biggest impact. And it doesn't consistently have the biggest impact on it. But it does have a decent impact. So don't get too caught up in this whole SMQ thing. You can spend hours looking at this and you're still going to be cross-eyed at the end of it. It just gives you an idea. Is your assumption right that this currency pair is hit the most by it? Okay? You can definitely, like I said, just go cross-eyed. Let's see here. Let me pull up my NinjaTrader. I'll show you what the deviation levels are all about. They're very, very cool. And like I said, the release that we have, that's out now. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. All right. We had another question that came in earlier about getting different feeds. What do you mean getting different feeds, Mike? You mean like data feeds? Okay, yeah, there's a lot of sources you can go to for data. I know that TradingPab has some as well. The ones that we have, that I use, you just go over here to Home and go to Getting Started Steps. And then I use NinjaTrader. You can download it for free. Use the key that Ninja gives you. Okay, now you can upgrade and all that stuff. The free key can do everything. Okay, except for place live futures and Forex and stock trades. But it's still, like, it does everything except for live trades through the platform. Okay, if you're trading Nadex, that doesn't really matter to you. But you know, eventually you may want, you know, you're probably going to want to do futures or Forex or whatever. So it's there, but it's a fully functional, powerful platform. All right, and so let me see here. Go in, yeah. So you can load everything up and. Like here's a trade that we did. We were actually, that was our take profit target, and we hit it, but went short and bought back. But yeah, so go in here, and then you know I connect. I have two different data feeds that I use. I love Kinetic IQ feed, same thing. I love them because it's just insanely fast. And I also like it for a backup data feed connection, but you have to pay for it. So over here for free data, which is fine. I mean, my futures data coming through CQG. To scroll down here, it says get your data. Okay, CQG free futures data. This is important. Okay, one of the things that I find it a little amusing, but people just don't think about it. Would you trade calls on Apple without ever looking at an Apple chart? No. Well, Nadex is a derivative. It's a North American derivative exchange. Okay, meaning it's derived from something else. So you don't need to be looking at that, all right? You need to be looking at the actual underlying market. It's real time. What you're seeing on Nadex is real time. Everything on it's real time. It's a derivative. It's a derived price. It's like an option. Okay, it is an option technically, but it's not a call or put option. So you got a box spread option and you have a binary option. So you need to be looking at live data. Okay? So for live data, go down here. So this is free futures data. This is live. This is not delayed. This is not 20 minutes delayed. This is not end of day. This is live. All right. So if you just go here and it has a little link right here. Get a 3-week demos, as many 3-week demos as you want of live data. And just click on this link. Fill in your information. It takes about 15 minutes. And this is the deal we worked out with Justin. It's very cool. And what he'll do is he'll send you, you get basically a login for your CQG login information. And what you'll do is then you'll go over here, and there's a whole connection guide on it, but you go to like tools, and then you go to account connections, and then you choose your connection, and then you hit add, and you go through the steps, okay? But you'll start at tools, account connections, add. And as far as like how to connect, I mean right there, NinjaTrader 7 CQG connection guide. Just click on that link. It'll actually show you step by step how to do it. There's their website. That's weird. Okay. We'll just go to ninjatrader.com. And then when that loads up, you click on help guides right here. Support. And then help guides. And then let's go to CQG. So there's the new link for how to connect to CQG. And that is live, real time, up to the minute, without having to pay anything. Okay? You're talking $500 a month in free live data. You're talking your gold, so basically almost every market. The only market they will give it to you with a funded account is the SGX for the Nikkei, but it's not going to be like all the historical data that you're going to need and want. And there's about only one way to get that, and that I know of, and it literally is to go through Kinetic, or IB or somebody like that. So I don't really trade the Nikkei that much. So there's enough other markets for me to focus on. I don't need it. So it's not worth it to me. But it'd be about $100 if you wanted to get that data to the SGX exchange, Singapore exchange. Okay, so anyway, so we got that one. Okay, so that's your futures data. And by the way, you can call, Justin is awesome. You can call him up. He'll install Ninja on your computer for you. He'll install our indicators on your computer for you and put your license keys in and get your data feed set up. Okay, he'll do all that. So he'll save you a ton of time and frustration, even do you a little walkthrough with how to do this. So anyway, so we got that, and then another one right here, Gain Capital, Forex.com. If you go to them, they'll actually give you now they'll give you Forex and futures. You can get AMP through them, but I really personally like working with Justin, and if you do want to trade futures, he'll give you tighter commissions, better margins. I really like working with him. I mean, literally, I'll pull him up on Skype, and I'll be like, "Hey, Justin, got a question for you." And I'll pull him up on Skype in a webinar, and he'll answer questions live right there. I mean, he's just awesome. And so anyways, you got that. But for your Forex, and by the way, if you don't want to request a new demo link every 3 weeks, deposit $500 in your futures account with AMP, and then it'll be permanent live, free futures, okay, data. So you don't have to go in and re-request it every 3 weeks. If you do it this way, every 3 weeks you have to re-request the feed. If you put $500 in, we go $500. That's a lot of money. No, you're not. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a deposit account. Think of it literally like a savings account that is yielding you over $500 a month in free data every month. Okay, so that's pretty good yield, and you can pull it out whenever you want to. But so if you go to Gain, you want the Forex.com feed through Global Futures. Okay, and now both of these guys, by the way, are going to give you a NinjaTrader key. You probably want to use the key you get directly from ninjatrader.com. Okay? So right here on home, free to use, download now, fill that in. And that's probably what the key you want to use, because it has more functions, like automated strategies, things like that, that you can't use on the one. Now the one that they give you, the broker gives you, the cool thing about it is it'll let you trade futures and Forex live without having to pay for buy or lease Ninja. Okay? But the one they give you also won't allow you to do automated trading. So if you want automated live trading, you need to buy or lease a key from Ninja. If you don't care about automated trading, but you do want to trade live, then you can get one from one of the two brokers that I listed. Or if you want automated trading, live data, but demo account, okay? Then use the key from Ninja. So I tell most people, just start with the key from Ninja, and then you'll know what you want from there, because you're like, hey, I want to buy Forex, I can't do it, so I need to upgrade my key. And you can let me know, I'll help you out. But if you hop over here, they got a link set up now. Right here, just click here to get free live Forex data set up. Fill it in, okay? And they'll take care of you. And but I've had good reports from them so far as well. So I mean, any questions you'll have, let me know. But this is how to get all your free live data, your free platform for your underlying, everything that you need to trade Nadex without having to pay anything. Okay, so you don't have to pay. You may have to put some deposits in, but you don't even have to put deposits in for any of the things I showed you right here. Just put the deposit in, so you don't have to re-request the feed every 3 weeks. Okay. So is that helpful to a few people? Will that help you to actually get the free live data futures charts? So yeah, Susan talked about how they're great to work with. They are. They're awesome to work with. All right. So now let's go over and let's check out a couple of things that could be helpful for you. I want to show you this. This is probably my favorite tool I've ever made. It's just so simple. And I'll be releasing a whole lot more stuff on it soon. We're going to have a whole S5 training program where we go through everything from I've never seen a chart to being a professional trader and managing your money and risk management and psychology of trading, coming from beginning to end. And but most of that will be available to most of our members. So some of it you have to be like an elite member, or a Signal subscriber, or whatever. But let's see here. Yeah, we had a great week last week on the Signals too. 5 out of 5 days profitable, so that's pretty sweet. And but right here, these are deviation levels. Okay, and like I said, you can also see them in the site. Let's say you don't have Ninja, and that's why we also load them in the site for you. But then you have to draw them on your chart. Not a big deal. It's not that hard to draw on your chart. You just find the vertical line tool. But what this is instead of, and I have a whole tutorial here. Like here's some of the historical. Now we actually chart them historically. And I talk about them and what they mean, and so you can read through that. Also, there's a quick, 10-15 minute webinar. There's a profit target webinar that I did for Nadex. I'm doing another webinar for them later this week, and we'll get you the link out for that, so you can register if you want to listen in on that one. But what this is, you've heard of standard deviation, possibly if you've been trading for any period of time. You've heard of different things like pivot points, okay? And there's all these different, price levels that people come up with. And, I've heard of them. I've subscribed to them. I've checked them out, but one of the things that, now Fortrader taught me this a long time ago. I actually used it. I worked for a firm. I was doing a lot of research for them. And I actually got to mentor under some pretty cool guys like Foretraders, hedge fund managers, sitting there, big New York skyscrapers, as they taught me what they did to move the markets. And one of the things that he was actually a Foretrader for the CBOE, and he did what's called gamma scalping. So he'd go in, and he was basically, it's a very complicated strategy, but he used to gamma scalp. And when he was doing this, he used a very simple formula made for day trading deviations. Okay, not just a deviation number, not just support and resistance, not just something. And he used it based on, since he was an options guy, he really knew the market. And instead of using past information to come up with tomorrow's deviations, like standard deviation and pivot points and all that, he actually used what does the entire market say about how far the market is going to move. All right, and how can I take advantage of that? Well, if you know anything about options, or if you know a lot about options, I guess, implied volatility is a number that's built into an option. So with implied volatility, that means implied means expected, volatility means movement. Okay, so implied volatility, expected movement, and that number is built into the option. So, like, let's take Apple for instance. That is the popular stock. So I'm just using that a lot this morning. But sorry, I just got another Skype thing. But so you take Apple for instance, and let's say their earnings announcement's coming out in 30 days. Well, the closer and closer it gets to that earnings announcement, the more and more expected movement there's going to be on Apple, because an earnings is coming out. They're going to expect it to move a lot. And so the options actually get more and more and more and more and more expensive. And the day before earnings is like the worst time to buy or sell a call or put, because they're so expensive that you could buy a call and you could be right and the market could fly up on the earnings announcement and you could lose. Because as soon as that announcement comes out and that movement happens, all that time premium gets sucked out of the option. Okay, that expected movement built into the price. And so it's called a volatility crush. But what this means to you is, once that implied volatility is sucked out, then there's no, money there. So what does that mean to you? What that means to you is implied volatility tells you how far the market expects the market to move, and the market is always right. Okay? So knowing that, if we can take that number out and then tie it into a deviation formula, it says, okay, how far should we expect the market to move today based on how far the market says it's going to move today, then we get a very accurate idea of what's going on with the market. So if I go over here and check this out, then what I can actually see, like we actually have the historical numbers in here now, and this is actually how I set my take profit last week. So I did this trade on Friday, and I was like, all right, let's go short NASDAQ, and Apple was getting pounded. Getting pounded again this morning after flying up. It actually traded at $4.95 in pre-market trading, so that thing's about to drop. Anyways, so we go in and we short, and I'm like, hey, okay, my target's right here at the deviation. It's a 1 deviation move. 70% of the time, you should never expect the market to go further than this. I mean, really, it's like 69 or 68.5 or whatever, but basically 70% of the time, the market should never go more than 1 deviation. So if I'm looking over at a deviation chart right here, I should never expect the market to go further than plus or minus 1 deviation. Okay? And I have this information if you go down to this, if you scroll down, I actually talk about this. Okay, so 68%, it will not break out or touch this level. 30% of the time, it will break out or touch this level. So, but really, this is as far as you expect the market to move. Well, how does that help you on Nadex? Okay, well, on Nadex, you need to know how far you expect the thing to move when you're picking your binary or your spread. On the spread, you have to know how far it needs to move for break even. On your binary, what I like to do is I'll go in and I'll pick the strike. So I'll go in and look for a strike, say around 26.25, okay, and I'll buy it back when it hits this price. So, like, let's say there's a 26.20, 6 strike or something. It comes down, and then I'll buy it back like right around 50. One of the things you can always count on Nadex, on binaries, is they'll always be right around $50 when the strike is at the same price as the underlying market. So if we go over here and we look at indices binaries, and we pull up the NASDAQ, we go to daily, and I go in, the one right around $50 is going to be right around where NASDAQ is currently trading. So this one's right around 50, 26.24. It's a little above $50, and I bet NASDAQ's a little above $50. Or, I'm sorry, above 26.24 it is. It's at 26, 25, or I don't know, something like that right now. 26.29. So, yeah, so it's obviously it's above that. So right around $50. Let's see here. And then, trying to see what else we got. So that lets you basically go, okay, I'm going to pick the strike. So right now, if I'm looking at doing this trade, you know what, I need to roll my contract over too. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'll do that in a second. But I'm going to be picking that strike. And let's see here. I'll update that in a minute. Let's go to a different contract that hasn't rolled at the moment. But anyways, 26.23 is basically the strike I'd be looking for right now. So that's where I'm going to expect the December contract to hit. We've been working on these deviation levels all morning, so that's why I'm not have my charts up right now. But usually I'm on the ball. Let's see. Here we go. March. All right. And then let's see if this will work, or if we're going to do a refresh. Like I said, it's in beta. Give it 1 second. Sweet. All right. Good job, Ben. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's working for the March contract. Now this was really important. This was actually a good lesson. Notice how that says March on it? That means I'm going to be looking at the March contract. Okay? So I need to be looking at the March contract. I had December up. I hadn't done my rollover. So, Nadex will roll over. See, this is sorry, let me recollect my words here. Nadex has weekly binaries, right? They aren't going to roll over in the middle of the week. All right? The futures are going to roll over this week, okay? To March. Nadex is not going to roll over midweek because they start trades like, weekly binaries start at like 3 a.m. And, due to that fact, there's no way that they can, roll over in the middle of the week. It'd mess up all the strikes and everything else. So they always roll over basically on Saturday for their strikes. So every week, just on, Monday, whatever, you need to hop on and you need to update your charts. And so the way you do that, like on Ninja, is you just go to Tools, Instrument Manager. And so if I can go in here and hit ES and got March right there, I can hit, let's see, TF, add that one in with the arrow right there, I can add in Dow. Search for that one. Put that one over there. And then I can drop off the December ones. I don't need those anymore. All right. So get rid of that one. And let's see here. All right. Now, I definitely recommend making an instrument list with all the Nadex contracts in it. So I make that my default because I pretty much always trade Nadex. But and so this is basically, we expected it to move up. Now, what do you do with these deviation levels? How do you actually apply this? Okay, this is how far the market expects the market to move. So we got that. We understand that. Let's see here. Now, what do we do with that information? Well, one, that's going to be our targets. Okay, if it hits a target, then we're going to be looking to take profit when it gets near or hits that target, near like within a point or two. All right. Or we're gonna, like, let's say, so if we actually sold the 26.23 right here on the entry bar, so we go right there, so we zoom in a little bit for you, right there on the entry bar right here, then we're gonna be looking to take profit when it gets right down to 26.23.25, which meant that, let's see here, if we go over and look at NASDAQ and we go to this 947 basically is when we got the entry. So if we go over here to 947, 26.23, so let's look at the 26.24. What did that cost at 947? We'll go down to 1 minute. And at 947, we could have got in, we'll just go for the median there. Let's say 80, I don't know, $3 between the high and the low. All right, so we'll say at $83 we sold, okay? And which means we had a $83, by the way, if you sell at 83, that's an $83 profit potential, okay? So selling at 83 is an $83 profit potential. And then if you buy at 83, it's an $83 risk. So the sell price, the price is basically listing your profit potential on the sell side or your risk on the buy side. So if I sold right there, then I would be able to buy back once it hits that price, which is going to be right around $50. As soon as it hits 26, 24, or whatever my, my goal is. So in this case, my goal is 26, 23, 25. So within a point, I could close it now. Would be one of my options to get out of the trade. So that was a winning trade. Took it this morning, done, and you're out within 40 minutes. The other thing is I could be just watching the market, and if it pulls back, like right here, I could have got out because it started to pull back. Would have been an option for me. So there's different ways to handle this, but I probably would be looking to get out any time now, especially since I can get out for $50. Or so. Let's see, what could I got out for? Let me pull it up one more time. 26.24. Could have got out for, if I bought it back. This is important too, by the way. This is showing you the mid price. If I want to see the ask or the sell, I can click to ask. Okay, so the lowest I could have bought it for was $54.50. So that's not bad. And then I said, what I have, my risk at 540. Oh, we got to change it back over to 1 minute again. 940. 783. So we had a $27 risk, and I could have bought it back for 54, 50, whatever, 55. So 55 minus 23. So $32. Not bad. So you go in there, make some decent money on the trades. Very short trade, very easy trade, over 100% risk reward, and you're not just blindly guessing. Oh, I'm going to buy this, and I think it's going to end up here. Okay. I very rarely hold, if it's out of the money, meaning it costs less than $50. I pretty much very, very rarely hold them to expiration. And but you need to have some sort of entry method. I use the Apex method on everything I do. So for my trending trades, when I'm doing any kind of trend trade, reversal trade, things like that, I'm definitely looking for some sort of Apex pattern. I love it when the Apex lines up on a deviation level. It moved up half a deviation. pulled back down. I mean, that's, you can't ask for more than that. That's just perfect. And then moved right back down. And I mean, basically, you're looking at a gap fill trade is what just happened. Okay, market came in, it filled, and then it pulled back up, and it refilled, and I mean, it's just bouncing off that right now. So it gives you a profit target. The apex pattern gives you the ability to go in and actually have a directional bias. And then by having a profit target and a directional bias and knowing all that together, that's when you can pick your strike, pick your entry, and take your profit. So it's really simple. Entry, pick strike, take profit when it gets, close to strike. And when it gets close, how close do I mean? Well, I'm looking to get when it gets there. But if I see this bar break, so we got a green bar after this, and I'm expecting it to go down. If I get a green bar right at that level that I'm shooting for, I'm probably just going to hop out. I'm not going to wait. So if that makes sense for you, so it goes down. If it starts pulling back on me when I'm waiting on this, I'm not going to wait for that extra 1 point and give all my profit away. So I may have to give up $5 of profit potential, but I'd rather give up $5 than give up, $30 or $50 or who knows how much, depending upon how big of a trade you were doing. Any questions on that? Mike, did that answer your question on the data feed? Did that help? Awesome. All right. So, starting to get paranoid when people are there. So, because that means you are paying attention. So that's basically how that works right there. And I mean, apex, entry bar, take profit, set. And then I mean, sometimes you may get a false apex. I mean, the thing may just rattle around on you. If it does that, that's okay. You have time to be right. So that's one of the things I love. But again, notice these apexes. There's a big difference between this apex and this actually would have been an apex. Don't sell when the trend line is going up. Okay? So, I have what's called a volatile trend line on here. Let me make it a little more visible for you. We're working on a whole new template series coming out soon. So, we're doing a lot of little updates, hopefully releasing before the end of the year. And we're also working on a data feed right now to actually feed the binaries and the spreads directly into Ninja. And I'm hoping to have something on that early, basically in the next weeks, maybe. So, all right. And so when the trend line is going up, don't sell. All right. Wait for it to really flatten out. I mean, I'm not talking about a bar or two, but actually flatten out. So right here, we can see we flattened out or going down. Now I have a good sell signal. Plus, I'm up at the volatile trend line or at the deviation level, so I should expect it to slow down. Notice it does. It hesitates right there. Now I have a good short signal. If I'm selling while the market's rising, I'm asking to get hit. So it's what I call style. So you have your you have your system, which is the apex system, but you need style, such as the deviation levels, the volatile trend line, things like that. But anyways, I hope this gets you started. By the way, you can get access to all this stuff over on our website. So check it out. We also have, just to show you this, we have the Signal service. To let you know about that, it's been doing really well. People have been happy. And it's on binaries. And so you just go over here. I give you all the details. I show you the trades. Trade by trade, month by month. So all that stuff's in there. And you can go through and check them out. Let's see here. I think we even have so here's the equity graph since August. And I've been doing really well. The last 5 days, every trade was profitable, or every day was profitable at least. And so we go through and list it all out there. But check it out. We send out the signals live. They go through a Twitter feed. And because we can instantly get that to you on your computer, on your cell phone, whatever, and it's sort of a good way for you to get started fast. That's actually why the actual number one reason I came up with it was because people want to get going. They want to get going now, and that's what that helps you do. So, if you have more questions, hop on over to our site. Let me know. Also, we have a forum right here, and I log in. I check this basically every day during the week, and so it looks like we got some new questions on there. But you can post questions in here. I answer them. There's a help desk over here. We have all the downloads. You can get free trials to things. Once you get them, you can even request an extension on the free trial if you need it. So we even have the links to Nadex and all that stuff in here, and like future symbol and month codes. That's helpful for a lot of people to sort of knowing, how do you put that together. This is all the futures that actually link to the Nadex products. Like Wall Street 30 is YM, US 500 is ES. So some of that stuff is, it's newer. So that, we provide that information for you so you have access to it. All right, well, that's basically what I got for today. I just want to introduce you to check out the deviation levels. Okay, they're free. Go look at them. The ones on the site are free. We have the beta going live right now for the Ninja Trader feed. It is night and day difference on your trading, and you'll be blown away. And like I said, you can go in, and I'm about to wrap up here, but you can go in here, and we're actually plotting the historical levels on here, and you can see how it just hits it, stops, hits it, stops. I mean, and over and over and over again. I mean, these things just call it. So, it's amazing. I mean, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's how far the market says the market will move. So they work really, really, really well. And we follow all the Nadex markets except for the international indices and pound yen and euro yen, because we need good option data, and we can't get good option data on those because we have to be able to pull all the implied volatilities to get it. All right, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it on back over to Morgan. You there?
Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Really appreciate you here, and I think that you guys see now why we call him the Nadex expert for sure. But he does an outstanding job, and definitely check him out at his website. It's ApexInvesting.com. Has tons of free resources, and you can submit questions in the forum and that he has there. There's his email address. But again, like he said, it's best to put it in the forum, because I'm sure if you have a question, it's probably a question somebody else has as well. So that way, other people can benefit. And yep, that's right, everybody learns. So again, we mentioned this earlier. If you open an account, then send an email to dan.cook@nadex.com. Dan will get you set up with a 12-month demo. So again, be sure to do that. And we did record Daryl's session. We'll get it posted on our website hopefully later today, as well as Saturday's session. We're about to get that recording posted. So thanks to you guys for being.
All right, so quick summary on the trade here on the Aussie dollar straddle that we did on the new short-term binaries that are, only 2 hours long and only 10 strikes wide on the FX pairs. I think it's 5 strikes wide on the US yen, but on the other 7 pairs, 10 strikes wide. So they're really close together. Makes for some great trades. We got in at 9:50 and it expired out or settled at 10 a.m. On the sell side of the trade, we risked $10.50. On the buy side of the trade, we risked $6.50. So our total risk on the trade was $16. The payout on the trade, as you can see right here, was $100. So this one had no payout, so it had a total loss of $10.50. This one with a risk of $6.50 had a payout of $100. So we had a profit of $84 on the trade. Take out, the exchange fees. Net profit was $81.30, and that brings us to a grand total profit of 508% return in only 10 minutes. So pretty cool trade. And more and more at ApexInvesting.com.